the retreat.
Oh, I can. Add it on my list. Hi, everybody. When you're on, say hi, tell me what you're knitting on, tell me where you are tonight, if you're sitting in your air conditioning or sitting outside in the heat. Hi, Julie. I tell you what, one of these times I'll figure this out, why I can't get it to show me comments. It just went away. You guys, I can never get my act together on this thing. At least I think I asked Victoria to trim everything down so people that watch this later don't see me looking like a dork trying to figure out what's going on. I lost all of my comments. I don't know where they went. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now I can see them. I just have to scroll. Hi, Marcina. Hi, Cindy. Bonnie back in Charlotte. Charlene. Hi, Tammy. Holly working on your snarkometer. Clue 2 sitting in your recliner. Yes. Hi, Linda. Hi, Cheryl. From your deck in Port Austin. I bet you guys have a good breeze out there. Julie working on your snarkometer. Excellent. Hi, E. Bonnie finished grafting your summer shandy. So I assume the grafting worked. Tell me if you had to do just like a regular Kitchener or if you had to do that Kitchener for garter stitch. Bonnie came in and she was working her summer shandy, and the way that one works is from the bottom up, you split for your 2 fronts, rejoin and knit back down. Well, one side of her fronts was shorter than the other. So we did a daring thing and we cut, kind of like doing an afterthought heel on a sock. We cut her knitting and put 2 sets of needles in so she could knit what she needed. So it was a little scary. It was a first for me, but she trusted me with it and I think we made it work. Hi, Nicole, working on your snarkometer and the fireworks. Hi, Lisa. E, you're working on a ranunculus. Really? I'm so surprised. Okay, let's see. Who else? Bonnie used your garter stitch craft. Okay. Hi, Cora. It looks great. Excellent. I'm so happy to hear that. Hi. I still can't figure out why this thing won't show me any comments the way I need it to. There we go. I'll try this now. Lisa. Hi, Sarah. Okay. It took me a couple minutes, but I think I'm on track now. So welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is Monday, August 23rd. And I'm Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop in downtown Saginaw, Michigan. Shop hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I do lives every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern from the shop most of the time. Next Monday, I will not be doing a live because it's Labor Day and I need a little break. Plus, we'll probably be coming back from up north and who knows, I'll be a little bit sleep deprived probably. Marcina working on your topographical scarf. Excellent. Lisa
Next Monday
in LA.
isn't Labor Day. It's the following.
So I will be on next Monday, which would be the 30th, Victoria's first day back to school. How could I forget that? So the following Monday, Labor Day, I will not be doing a live. So join me next Monday at 7. If you're watching this on a replay, make sure you put it in the comments, #replay, and tell me where you're watching from and what you're working on too. Yes, Julie, say it now too. 2 weeks to Labor Day. I'm trying to rush things too fast. I want to get to September. September is my birthday month because everybody has a birthday month, right? Jenny from Battle Creek, hello. So let's see. Before I get into the actual knitting, I wanted to mention, I don't know if very many of you saw the post that I shared earlier from my timeline, my Facebook memories timeline. I do love that Facebook does that, and you can go back and see what you posted on different dates, this day, last year, 2 years ago, whatever. 9 years ago today, I posted about how crochet was so much easier for me to learn than knitting, and how I didn't think I was ever going to get the hang of it, and was frustrated and probably would have to find a shop to go take some classes. And oh my gosh, is that just a great example of how things can change in such a short amount of time? I mean, that was 9 years ago. I've had the shop I've had the shop for 6 years. So I had been knitting 3 years, you guys, when I opened the shop. Just jump in with both feet. Whatever it is that you have the inclination to do, just do it. Take a risk. It's worth it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get lucky enough to be in a situation like this where I get to do what I love every day, and I get to talk to you all at least once a week on here and 3 or 4 times a week in person. So I just thought that was crazy. Let's see, Melissa, 50 days to Cancun. Hi, Debbie. Cora casting on your snarkometer. Tammy, I'm the 9th, 9-9. So a few people are mentioning their snarkometer. So let's talk about that. Casapinka does this mystery knit along. So all we knew ahead of time was that it was going to be a long rectangular wrap. We've now had 2 clues released and 7 sections. So this is my week 1 and 2. So week 1 ended, if you remember, before the orange. So there was week 1 with my first 3 colors. Week 2 was the orange dots, these little slip stitch sections, and then a little bit of lace. So interestingly enough, I do have a few kits left for the snarkometer too. So if that's something that you're interested in joining, it's not too late. It's a 6-week knit along. If you want to wait and see what the final project looks like before you commit, that's perfectly fine too. The pattern is going to be available all the time. It's just kind of fun to do it as it's released. For me, it's a little bit of a challenge to see if I can focus on one project in a certain amount of time and get things done. So there are things I did do and things I didn't do with this. In this slip stitch section, she actually encourages you to make at least 2 mistakes in that section. I couldn't do it, you guys. I'm sure there are going to be mistakes in here that I can point out. I don't need to intentionally add more. And I think my colors are so high contrast, it would have been really visible. Like even there, it kind of looks like a little mistake right there, but it's not. It's just one really dark stitch in my light yarn. The other thing, for those of you who are not to that point yet, Melissa and I just had a chat about this. She recommends going to a smaller needle before you do this lace section. I read it. I got my needles out. I did not change needles until I had 1 repeat done and realized it was starting to fan out a little bit. Ripped back, went down a needle size, looks much better now. So I'm assuming I'm like a third of the way there if this is a 6-week thing and we've had 2 weeks of it. So that is the snarkometer. Melissa did the mistakes. She thinks you can't see them very well because her yarns aren't so high contrast. but I'm so proud of her for doing it and leaving them there. Elaine, almost done with your Etta sweater. Excellent, very good. So that's one of the things I'm working on. I remembered to bring my curly Q coverlet this week. I have been working on this. I tried. I picked the wrong weekend to knit on a giant blanket. So let me see if I can stand back a little bit so you can see it better. It's growing. It's done circularly and modularly. So I'm not having to pick up stitches. It's pretty much all short rows. It's going to be 5 points. I've got 4 done. I'm so close, you guys. Tammy, is the pattern that uses the enchanted yarn in the kits? Yes. The merino silk blend, the one that had those purples and that one that looked like the confetti that was enchanted. Yes. So that's my curly Q coverlet. I am really happy with the way it looks, but even riding in the car with the air on was too warm to have that on my lap. So it got some love, but not a whole lot. I finished my slipping sideways pullover, but I'm not going to show you yet because I do have one more project that I'm working on that I wanted to show. The last time, I think I might have mentioned this a little bit last week, the last time my Plymouth yarn rep was in, I ordered just one bag of a few different yarns that I haven't carried before, whether they're new to Plymouth or just new to me, and decided to kind of play around with them, see if it's something I wanted to bring in. So this yarn is one of them. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet until I decide whether I like it or not. So far, I really like it. It is a cotton lyocell, which I think is like a nylon or a lycra blend. It comes in these little 50-gram donuts. I really, really, really am not a big fan of the donut style yarn, but I will tolerate it. It's got this shine to it. And it's super stretchy for cotton. That is so unusual. But if you look at the plies, I don't know if you can see the way that looks. Probably not. It's like a weird twisty thing. This is a good example of why you sometimes need dull needles. Because if I was using my Hiya Sharps or even my Knitter's Pride lace tips, I think I would split the yarn. But so I've got the zings, which are a little bit more dull point on there. So I'm not splitting the yarn so much. So the pattern that I am working on is from a little set called Baby's Day Out Ensemble. It's written for a different yarn, but I thought it was so stinking cute. From my calculations, out of one bag of this yarn, I can get a hat, a baby blanket, and this sweater, which I think would just be so fun to have this whole little set for a new baby. The yarn is machine washable and dryable and so soft. So I cannot wait to get this done. I'm telling myself that I want to do the whole thing, the blanket, the hat, and the sweater. So we will see. It's obviously not a newborn size. Their smallest size is 6 to 9 months, I think. Starts bottom up. Very, very simple pattern. I just split for my fronts and backs. It's supposed to be on a separate little holder, but I didn't do that. That would have required me to get up and move. So I am getting a lot done because Victoria needs lots and lots of hours of driving. And we went up to West Branch today. We were at the campground this weekend. I am really, really loving this whole I can knit and she can drive, as long as it's on something like this where I can watch the road and not have to pay too close attention to this. Tammy Lyasell is rayon. Okay. So yeah, it gives it that stretch, but the durability too, and it does not feel like a cotton yarn. In a different way than the Cumulus, what I'm making my curly Q out of is the Cumulus, which is a cotton polyester blend that's fuzzy soft. This is more of a smooth, squishy soft. So that's the other thing I'm working on. I will report back to you all how it turns out once I wash, dry, repeat, right? So what I finished my flipping sideways pullover. I am so happy with how this turned out. I was a little concerned when I got it off the needles because it was a little bit more fitted than I wanted it to be and a little bit shorter, but in true form of superwash sock yarn, it grew nicely, evened out nicely. I'm so happy with it. So it used 1 skein of the variegated, 2 skeins of the solid for this size. I believe the largest size uses 2 and 3. So lots of size options. It would be flattering to anybody. And it really was a fun knit, even though I was complaining about how it was on size 2.5 needles. The way it's constructed, it doesn't feel like a big, overwhelming project. Honestly, the only time I really was like, thank you, Jackie. I love it too. I really wanted to wear it, but I'm too warm. The only time I was complaining about how slow it was going was the bottom ribbing, which it's 1x1 ribbing. I don't think very many people love it. It is meditative, and I could tell myself that's what I'm doing, is just meditating while I do knit one purl one forever. But there's no way around it. I even wove my ends in and everything. So I will go back. You guys, I even wove my ends in on my snarkometer last night. I was so good. I'm so proud of myself. So the way I weave my ends in, I think I've mentioned this before. I use Very Pink Knits has a great tutorial. I think she has a couple of them on how to weave your ends in so you don't see them very well. Once I've woven them in, I leave these little tails. I don't cut them really short until it's been blocked. So with this top, now that it's been blocked, you'll see I left those longer ends, but these little guys are all that's left. So if they're right along the edge, I'll probably snip them down. Otherwise, I'll just leave them. It helps to keep the ends from popping through on the right side of your work. Cora, yes, I love it. I think we were talking about this last week too. It would be really cool in like a tonal with like black and white or gray, black and gray, something like that. I think it would be really sharp. I could almost see myself making another one. For those of you who knit with a lot of cotton yarn, let me know if you have a fingering weight, sock weight cotton yarn. It doesn't have to be sock yarn per se in terms of making socks with it, but yarn that I could suggest to people as a substitute for wool and nylon yarn. Some people are just averse to it, and sometimes it's fun just to try something different. I have had a hard time finding that fine weight in colors that I like and the texture that I like. So if you knit with cotton yarn and you have something in mind, share it with me, please. After last week, I did end up talking to one of my customers who I haven't seen in a while because she has been busy dyeing yarn and has started her own business. So she and I chatted a little bit about a possible collaboration, which would be fun. So that's coming down the line. So things coming up. Yarn related, the Dream in Color pop-up club starts September. So their sock club started in August. The first one was here. For those of you that pre-ordered, those went to you. Any that I had left were gone in like 2 days. And I'll be getting the next one in September. So the pop-up club is Smushy with Cashmere. That's the one I've done in the past couple of years, and spring and fall. Melissa just posted a link to the website where you can pre-order. The way I run most of those is before I get the yarns in, you can pre-order at a discount. Once I've received the yarn, it goes back up to full price. So the picture that shows up on the website is the actual colors. In the past, I've only had like here's the sample of what it was last year. But these are the actual colors, September, October, November, December. And I get coordinating solids or tonals to go with them. And what I like about Dream in Colors solids is they're not solid. So look at that red. That's what I would call one of their solids or tonals. Clearly it's not saturated, oversaturated. So you get that depth of color in there. I really love that. Some people don't. So I try and make sure that I tell you that ahead of time. So pre-orders for that are on the website. I also just put on there the other day pre-orders for their fall kits that they are calling, where did I put it? Love Language. So this is Dream in Color also. They worked with, so I can't think of her name. It's Sarah Abram is the same designer that they've used for the Nest and Burrow cowl, the You Are Enough shawl. These are 2 pattern choices called Diamond Mindset and Floral Perspective. They're coming as kits. So in your kit, you will get patterns, a download code for both patterns. There's that one. Look at how cute that is. So you would get download codes for both of these patterns. You get to pick your color choices. They have A, B, C, D, and E. So you get two full 4-ounce skeins plus a 65-yard mini, and it's worsted. So it's their classy worsted, which is 100% superwash merino. If you want to know how that looks in person, how it feels, I do carry that here in the shop. I did my a sweater that starts with an H that I can't remember the name of, but it's a green and white stripe with green and blue stripe with a big collar on it. That's done out of that yarn, classy. So, and you also get a cute project bag. I haven't quite figured out the details on it, but really what you get to choose are the color combos. They recommend with the blues that they think that it would look good with the Diamond Mindset pattern, and the greens would look good with the floral pattern, but you pick your yarn combo. They send you download codes for both patterns and a project bag, and you get a pom-pom maker. It's not like one of the plastic ones. It's a little wood one that has Dream in Colors logo on it. So if you go onto the website to pre-order, you just have to choose your color. I think which bag you get is kind of random because they don't want to tell you which one you're doing. They're kind of just randomly sending out bags. So if I order 30 kits, I don't know if I'll get 15 and 15 or if I'll get a whole bunch of one and a few of the other. You are more than welcome to shoot me a little message and tell me you would prefer one over the other, and I will see what I can do to help you. But so pre-order, these are $65 for the kit. Normal price is going to be $73.50 once they're here in the store. They are shipping by October 1st. So this would be a great fall gift knitting or for yourself. They're just, so there's the patterns again, a little bit bigger. I thought maybe they were on Ravelry, but they're not yet. So floral perspective, diamond mindset. Just at first glance, I would say that the diamond mindset, if you've not done stranded color work, might be a little bit simpler. It looks like the floats are shorter versus this floral perspective one. But really in that, they look pretty short too. So if you're new to stranded knitting, it doesn't look like you really have more than 3 or 4 stitches between colors. So super neat. Keep that in mind, that's new. Non-yarn related specifically, I mean, is our retreat out at Bayshore in Sebring is coming up September 23rd through the 28th. I think I got that right. The deadline is fast approaching for us to get the final count, get room arrangements set. I will be sending an email out to those of you who did sign up. We're gonna have such a good time this year. I can't wait. I do still have some spots available though. You can sign up for that on the website too. It requires a $50 deposit and the remaining balance will be due by September something, September 10th, September 11th. I don't remember. I should write all of this down ahead of time. And you would think because I talk about this stuff every week, I would remember, but if it's not, I don't know why I can't keep that in my head, but if you called me and said, why did I buy this yarn 2 years ago? I might be able to tell you that. Janie, excellent. Okay, we'll put you down for that. Melissa will keep track of all of that for me too. Okay, so the last thing is kits for this shawl. I talked about it last week. Victoria put some colors together. I put some colors together. So this is Jen Chapman's Inspire, Create, Repeat 3-color shawl, sport or DK weight. Starts with just a few stitches and grows and grows and grows. Some lace, some stripes. There is a little bit of, it's not corrugated ribbing because it's not ribbing, but stranded color work. Look at how pretty it looks even from the back. It looks really cool. So kits for this. Each kit is $60. It includes 2 skeins of each of 3 colors because they're 50 gram skeins. You need 100 grams of each color. So you get a total of 300 grams of yarn, a digital copy of the pattern, and my help if you need it. So I did post a picture about a half an hour ago of the color combinations that I had. If you want something different, if you want me to put something different together for you, I can. I have just a limited number of the ones that I have here. They use our Little Yarn Shoppe Merino Alpaca Sport. So it's 80% superwash merino, 20% baby alpaca, not superwash merino. 80% merino, 20% baby alpaca. Each skein is 50 grams and 137 yards. So you get 2 of each color, like I said. There, Melissa put all the information in there too. So I have 5 different color options. And as I go through, I will let you know kind of quickly. I've got one that's kind of greens and browns, one that's more of a rusty fall tones, one that's a brighter purples, and then 2 that are more bluey. So if you're waiting to look for certain colors, that'll kind of give you a little bit of an idea. So the first one is indigo, turquoise, and tan. If there is a kit that you're interested in, go ahead and put it in the comments. This is kit number 1 or color number 1. I have 1 set of these. So you'll get 2. I only pulled 1 because it's easier to show this way, but you'll get 2 of each color. So let's see, maybe I can drape this on me so we can talk about it. We can stare at it. There we go. So indigo, turquoise, and tan. And I have 1 of those. That's kit 1. And I will go back over them too. Kit 2 is very, very similar to the sample. That is slate, teal, and powder blue. So that would give you, you can see this is a little bit of a tealy blue. I don't have any of that, but it will give you a very similar effect. This is combo 2, and I have 4 of these. Let's see. Combo 3, this is interesting because you guys had helped me choose this combo for another project that I never got around to making, but I still think it's a really cool combo. So this is combo 3 espresso, fern, and flax. So this dark chocolate espresso, it's really pretty green, and this beigey tan flax color. I have 3 of those, 3 kits. The next one, combo 4, is garnet, rust, and oatmeal. Stephanie, I know, isn't it beautiful? I love the greens. I think we're getting more into that time of year too. This one I love too. So garnet, rust, and oatmeal. I only have 1 of these kits. I wish I had more. It's so, so beautiful. And 5 is magenta, graphite, and lilac. Look at how pretty that is. Nicole, this lilac will look familiar. That's the one you used for, I think it was a sweater, but I can't remember what pattern it was that you used that purple, and it turned out so pretty. Such a beautiful color. So that's 5. And I have 3 of these. So I will go back over them again with kit numbers. So Jamie, yes, that's fine. So this is kit 1, indigo, turquoise, and tan. I've got 1 of these, unless somebody claimed it. I see Jamie claimed 4. So kit 1, I have 1 set of that, indigo, turquoise, and tan. Kit 2, slate, teal, and powder blue. I have 4 of these. Stephanie, yes, for the one that I'm wearing, the Inspire, Create, Repeat. So they're $60 kits. The kit includes 2 skeins of each color. It's just easier for me to hold 1 of each. And a digital copy of the pattern for $60. So that's kit 2. Kit 3, espresso, fern, and flax. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. So I have 3 of these. 4 is gone. Jamie got that one already. 5 is magenta, graphite, and lilac. And I've got 3 of those. So you don't have to use them in this order. Obviously, if you look at this, if you look at the shawl, you use all of the colors together. So like color A and B are here. Then you go colors B and C B, and A. And then you get all three down here at the end, C, A, and B. So you get to see all the different, you don't have to really worry too much about what color you want to look good with what. In circumstances like that, what I tend to do is see, like when I hold it back, what do I see the most of? For me, it's two things. It's the black lace sections and then this light blue section, probably because it's light, but it's also a really cool, it's a really cool little stitch. So I pick the colors that I want to see in those sections and then kind of work from there. Okay. Jackie, are you gonna knit the kits? I see you like kits 4 and 5. Are you, you're a knitter, aren't you? You can knit these things, sure, no problem. So kits 1, 2, and 5 are still available. Kit 2 is most close to the sample. So kit 1, indigo, turquoise, and tan. Kit 2, slate, teal, and powder blue. And 5, magenta, graphite, and lilac. Oh, I just think that's so pretty. I might have to do one of those in all my spare time. My next one. So if you're watching this after the fact, reach out to me, find out if what kits, if any, we have available. If you saw something that you liked and we are sold out, shoot me a message and we'll see what we can do to put something comparable together for you. The yarn that I'm using for these kits is a limited yarn for us. It was just kind of a one-time run thing. So once these kits are gone, I can't do any more with those specific colors. Melissa pretty much just said the same thing I said at the same time. I love it. It's like we know what we're talking about. Okay. So yeah, come in and see me, message me. We can make it work. Really, that's one of my favorite parts of my job is playing with colors, putting kits together. Really pulling things that people wouldn't think to do on their own, but having 99% confidence that it's going to look good when it's done. Yeah, it's like we planned it in advance. Okay, so I think, oh, it says my earbud's gonna die. Hang on, let me put my other one in. Hopefully you don't lose me when I do this. Melissa, can you still hear me okay? Yes. Okay. I haven't figured out how to toggle between screens. Look at me. I'm almost like an expert, but what did I do this week? This week, as far as local businesses, Victoria and I stopped in Midland yesterday for coffee, for our Sunday coffee, our Support Small Sunday. Midland has, I say this all the time, but it's crazy, the number of coffee shops that are open on Sunday in Midland. There are a lot. The one that we went to, Grounds, is it Grounds Coffee? Shoot, now I can't think of the name of it. And I can't look on my phone because I'm talking to you guys on my phone. It's on Eastman. It's right near Creation Coffee, but this coffee shop brought back so many memories. I went to Northwood 20 plus years ago, and I had a couple friends that worked at that coffee shop. It was primarily a drive-through. They have a little bit of seating inside. It's been a coffee shop for the Coffee Grounds shop. There we go. Thank you, Melissa. it's been a coffee shop for a long time. It has gone through a couple changes in ownership, but it's a really cute little place. Again, great to support small, locally owned businesses as much as possible. They had some pastries, so we had to, of course, indulge. We definitely will be back there for sure. I am excited though, once we are not going north on the weekends when camping is done, Saginaw does have 2 coffee shops that are open on Sundays, and that's Cafe 476 out on Gratiot. They're at 47 and 46 where Gratiot and Midland Road meet, and in the point. And then out in Thomas Township is 989 Cafe. So, Roxy, could you make that shawl from, I assume there was more to that statement, so we'll touch base on that. If there are other coffee shops in the area, I mean, we try to keep it to a 20 to 25 minute drive. We've not really gone south beyond Birch Run for coffee shops. So if you're from down that way, I know 1 or 2 of you may be from the Chesaning area or surrounding. Tell us if there's a coffee shop you like. If it's open on Sundays, we would love to check it out. We love coffee, and it's just something that we get to do fun every Sunday. We've been doing it for over a year, and I love it. I think she loves it. She's getting better about taking selfies with me there, so that's something. Roxy, could you make it with Encore? You could. That's a bit heavier. It would just make a bigger shawl. So I would say bigger needles, but absolutely. Shawls are pretty flexible. Change the yarn, change your needles, make it bigger, make it smaller. Melissa, if you're creating any of the items from, yes. So we have our craft along group that we put together. Melissa, I'm sure we'll put a link here for that, but it's just a fun place for all of us to kind of post what projects we're working on. Like, so those of us that are working on the Snarkometer are posting pictures in there. When we were working on the heart piercer shawl, it was the same thing. We were kind of going back and forth in there. So it's fun to see what people are making. It's kind of fun to get it. I mean, I know I do what you making Wednesday and show off your faux Friday. But it's fun to kind of have that group where you can make your own post and get more direct feedback and interaction that way. I think that's it. I think that's all I have notes on today. I'm pretty proud of myself. It's not it's not 8 o'clock. I didn't go for an hour rambling on about stuff, so that's good. I will be on next Monday. I will not be on the following Monday, which is Labor Day. I almost said Memorial Day. Next Monday, I should have a report on how the first day of school went for Victoria. Fingers crossed that things level out a little bit. I don't care if she's got to wear a mask. She doesn't care if she's got to wear a mask. She just wants to be in person. And I just want her to get some sense of routine back. So I will see you all next Monday on here, if not sooner. Again, don't forget to go and look for the event page for the lives and click that you're going or you're interested. That helps more crafters see the event, and it also will then pop up with a little reminder to let you know when it's coming up or when I do go live, if it doesn't give you a reminder anyway. So just little things to think about. All right, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Stop in and see me Wednesday through Saturday. Well, I may or may not be here Saturday. Wednesday through Friday for sure. I'm here 10 to 6. Enjoy your week. Start some things, finish some things, be creative, inspire others, be inspired, and just enjoy without melting, because the heat is something. So, all right. Have a great week. I will see you next time. Bye.